Welcome back. City Council will temporarily rename one street in downtown Lloydminster to highlight and support our veterans. July 21st to 30th, 49th Avenue will don the new name of Veterans Way.
The temporary renaming of the street is certainly a way to help show a visual example to those veterans that we appreciate their support. You know, Remembrance Day comes once a year, but I think that's something that we can do every day.
The city is currently looking at renaming the street permanently. However, they are running into some difficulties.
The same street, so that was some challenging and challenges that have been put before City Council and administration. So we're working through it.
The Lloydminster exhibition has also requested a name change for 49th Avenue. Council is currently working on developing a policy for the renaming of streets and avenues. Well, many of us will have plans this summer, and they may include traveling in an RV. If that's the case, having your RV checked is the first stop you want to make. There are many things to take into consideration before heading out on the road, and safety is always the #1 priority.
There's a ton of little things too. You know, you got to check your safety chains, make sure they're hooked up properly. You want to make sure you've checked the tire pressure in both the tow vehicle and the vehicle that you're towing behind you, whether it be a trailer or a fifth wheel.
As far as camping goes, a propane leak check at least once a year is a good idea, as most appliances in the trailer run on the gas.
This is your coupler lock on a travel trailer. Always double check it. Make sure that's in the lock position so there's no chance of that trailer coming off the tow vehicle. That has to be in the down position. Having a safety pin through there so it can't move is a great idea.
Other things to think about when checking your RV are power plug, brake control, and overall inspections. You can also always swing by your local dealership and have them take a look before hitting the road. And figuring out what to eat after exercising often requires a bit of research to find out what your ideal meal should look like. But as Josh Ryan explains in this week's Healthy Living, the timing of when you eat after getting your sweat on is just as important, if not more so.
Finding the right nutritious balance in post-workout meals can look intimidating with so many options out there. However, the literature on the subject generally points towards high protein content and staying away from complex sugars.
That usually is going to be in protein powders, that kind of thing. Some protein powders do have simple sugars in there. Other ones are just plain whey isolate that you can mix with fruit juice, or you can blend into a smoothie.
Glutamine, glucosamine, branched-chain amino acids, creatine, carbohydrates, everything all in one blend. So you don't have to say, hey, take these six things and try that after to help after your post-workout.
Getting that meal inside your system quickly is also important. Having fruit, vegetables, and protein supplements mixed together in smoothies or shakes is the easiest way to stay inside the window for optimal nutrient intake.
If it's taking you longer to get home and undressed and have your drink in 30 minutes, then just have it at the gym before you leave. Most of my clients, they mix it in their shaker right after we're done our workout and walk out the door with it in their hand and finish it.
It can, utilize those nutrients more effectively, and then you kind of lose that window after the 30-minute to 60-minute window.
The amount of consumption post-workout will vary depending on body type and other factors, but Weinkoff says the most important thing is hitting that window, even if you are planning on eating a substantial amount at dinner that day.
If you're going to eat later, it has nothing to do with the recovery and feeding the muscles after you just worked them.
However, this becomes less urgent when the exercise is less intense.
Someone who, maybe does a training session by themselves at home for only 30 minutes and their perceived exertion is, maybe a 5 out of 10. You don't need to have a nutrition shake or anything after that.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
Thanks, Gerard. Canola produces more flowers than it actually needs, and while the pretty flowers cover prairie fields, it likes less moisture to keep disease away. In this week's Agriculture Report, Gerard Lampow finds out what's hiding under the canola canopy.
If you find like really small black wasps, those are actually pretty good to have because they usually lay eggs inside of feeding insects.
Agronomist Clint Yerke is scouting this 70-acre canola field looking for the hidden dangers affecting his yield. It's the middle of a warm summer afternoon and he's already concluded there's still moisture under the yellow canopy.
Well, this field's actually looking pretty good. This one has been sprayed for sclerotinia already, so I'm not too concerned about the development of that disease in it. But it's just a watching pattern now, just to see if we're going to have any insect issues at this point.
Sclerotinia is a white mold thriving in damp conditions. Canola requires less rainfall once the plant is flowering, otherwise that disease could wipe out the crop. Yerke finds that they are good insects which prey on the bad ones, so let Mother Nature manage the ecological balance.
So what we try to recommend to farmers is not to spray without really taking a close look, because oftentimes you will have beneficial insects like this dragonfly here.
And then there are the bad bugs.
So that's the diamondback moth larvae. If we get a lot of those guys occurring once the crop nears maturity, they will eat a lot of canola seeds.
Yerke says you need to find about 20 to 30 of these bugs in a square foot before you need to spray. Producers will be scouting their fields and hoping for ideal conditions leading up to harvest.
There's another dragonfly. Those guys are good because they eat mosquitoes.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, new facilities are always a welcome addition to any city or town. For Cold Lake, the Energy Center offers many athletes a great area to play and train, and it just got better than any new outdoor facility. Imperial last weekend, a much-needed area that will provide the Penguins Rugby Club an area it can proudly call home.
It is the best pitch in town, and I would argue it's one of the better pitches in the Northeast. If anybody wants to come out here and see a natural grass pitch, there's none better than this.
We have places now for our fans to come out, so it just seems like we're another step closer to bringing the community into our club, which is really exciting for us.
What I've said to other people is that it's the kind of field that is just so soft and just so well maintained that I could lay down and have a nap, and I think I might later today.
But Nickel isn't the only one who felt that way about the new pitch.
It's phenomenal. Like, I got hit on this and I felt like I was falling on feathers. Like the last field we played at,
falling on feathers.
like literally, there's feathers. Like last time we played, I don't know, Edmonton, I got like tackled and I fell into dirt and like my elbow still hurts. So this field is amazing. I would play on this field any day.
Wherever there's a pitch, that's our home. So now that this has become our permanent pitch here in Cold Lake, it's an immense sense of pride. Something that, now that we practice here, a couple times a week and play our home games here, we want to take care of it because this is our home. So it's really a great feeling.